What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. You are tuned now to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and downloading me in over 20 different countries. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I'm proud of where this show has come from, where it has gone, and where it continues to climb, where it continues to go to. All right. And with that, I've always got to evolve and continue to roll and roam into different directions. And I always want to uplift people that are doing big things. So I'm very proud and happy to introduce to you guys for the first time on the Ash Said It podcast, UniekeGrace. How are you, Mama?
Hey, I am doing just fine. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for being on the show. So, UniekeGrace, let everybody know where you're from, where you represent.
I am all the way from the west side in Africa. I'm from Nigeria, and that's my home. And but I live in Belgium right now, actually. I'm one of those third culture kid, whatchamacallit. So I jump around different continents. So right now, I'm in Belgium.
Awesome. And you are a multi-talented young lady that is making some really big strides in multiple directions. I can recognize with, I can identify with it because, me, myself, I do that a lot.
Nice. That's the way forward, girl.
That's right.
Just, you gotta keep on moving and breaking new grounds. That's what it's about, right?
Absolutely. So, UniekeGrace, let everybody know some of your background as far as music goes. When were you first introduced to the world of music?
Oh, it's a long story. I'm gonna make it really short. Actually, my mom, she's always been into music ever since I can remember. Since I was I think 4 or 5 years old, she's always been in a choir, in different places, and she's always been trying to get me to get into choir with them older people and things, which I always shy away from. But the background of music has always been around, either I like it or not. Yeah. Even in my home, my dad, he loves to get us all together early in the morning, 6 a.m. We wake up, drag us out of bed, and we have to sing and pray together as a family. Oh. And also before we go to bed at 9 p.m. till today, my father still does it in his home. Anybody who comes to his house must get up at 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. and we must sing. And I'm talking singing, harmonizing and things. Not just I'm tired and I'm just singing. No, you got to make it sound good kind of singing. So, that's how it actually began, and it's still going on.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Awesome. It's weird, actually, thinking about it. I don't know how many people do that,
No, but you know what? It's one of those things back in the day where, when your parents was having a party or whatever the case is, they wake up the babies, they wake up the kids. Yeah. All right, go do the dance. Go show everybody the dance.
Right? If you don't do that dance, you don't get a candy. You're like, okay, I'll do the dance.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that was how it started. When did you begin to take this craft serious?
Yeah, that's the thing. I've always been into writing. I've always write poetry and things like that. And I remember the very first time it actually jumped out to me wow, I could actually either write songs for people or sing songs for myself was in Baltimore when I was still living in the States back then. And there was a group that were emerging, a girl group, and they asked me to write lyrics for them, a rap kind of thing. And then they gave it to a rapper to, do his thing. But for some reason, I don't know, he just wasn't gelling. And then they asked me to do it. And I was like, wait, I just write. I'm like, no, you wrote it. I'm pretty sure you can imagine how it's supposed to sound. And I did it, and we recorded it. We went to different shows with it. And at that time, I was man, yeah, it was fun, But I still kept writing anyway. But then I told a lady in my choir then, I was like, yeah, I would love to introduce my songs to some people to go sing it for me. She was like, girl, you crazy? Why would you want to spend so much time, my talent, writing these songs and give it to somebody else? I go, because I'm not a singer. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I joined a choir because I like songs and music, She was
Right.
like, no, the same God who gave you this talent to write can also give you the talent to sing. So how about you go pray about it? I was like, okay. And honestly, I did. I thought about it, and I did. Not to become famous, not to, go doing tours, but I wanted to, sing my own songs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it began. And I remember my very first singing coach was Miss Keitra Williams, who happens to be the very first leading lady of the Tyler Perry theater show, The Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the very first leading lady. When she told me, I was like, how did I end up in your nest? Like, what? And she like literally opened my mind and poured so much knowledge.
Yeah.
It was training, paying $40 an hour. I was like, I think 21 then or so. And I understood that if I wanted to get good in my craft, I had to, invest and go for trainings and hang out with the people who know what they're doing. So that's how it started, that's how it started. But this, me professionally going to sing, started about 4 years ago. I moved to Belgium about 9 years ago. And my first song is I'm a Survivor, the original one. And that was my very first real studio time experience. And I loved it. I loved putting my ideas together with a producer and making something beautiful. And that's how it started. We started going for like little events here and there in Brussels and, getting some comments like, I love the words in your songs. I love the lyrics. I love the music. And I'm like, wow, this could be something.
Yeah. And I think that really goes back to people following their purpose. And when something is for you, it is for you. And it will come and manifest. And like you said, it takes hard work. I know. Anybody that has anything going on in life and is really doing something in a major, massive scale, they've had to sacrifice. They've had to work hard. They've had to spend money that they don't necessarily have. So
Girl, I know all about that.
You know, and I know better than anybody else that it takes a lot. You've got to love what you're doing, and it has to be a calling on your life. I believe that.
I believe that too.
Absolutely has to be a calling. So
Definitely.
Let's talk a little bit about the writing process, because like you said, you started off kind of as a writer in the background of things. How is what is unique about your writing process?
Well, funny enough, as a writer outside of music, I published a poetry book already in 2007 called Face to Face. And it was just poems about things that I have experienced in life, experience love, experience friendship, experience reaching for a goal and trying to get it and the hardship, things like that. That's what the book is about. It's on Amazon.com. Well, actually, it's online. Barnes and Noble's actually in stores. And it was my mind opening into something, how I can express myself. Because I go through, I know I've been through a lot of stuff in life. And I know a lot of people have been through things too. Tough stuff that when you hear it, you're like, what now? But my way of coping was writing. My way of my therapy through what I had been through was putting them in, black and white and saying them. And sometimes when I don't want to think about it and I read it, it's almost like letting go. It was a process anyway. It wasn't something that happened, right away. It was a process. And then after that, I wrote another book called My American Dream. It's not published yet. I'm one of those writers that like to perfect things before.
Nothing wrong with that.
before sending it into the universe. So it's still under like editing process, and that's why it's helped me also in my music. The things that I experience or what I write about, the things that bother me so much. Because some people say, "Are you a gospel artist?" Because you say a lot of like, gospel things, and I'm like, I'm a Christian first of all, and I write about my walk as a Christian. It's not easy. It's not every day. It's not like I wake up and I go, "Ooh, thank you, Jesus," and I'm all smiling. No, because there is hardship. There are challenges. You wake up someday, you wish you were dead. You wake up someday, you're all depressed. How do you deal with those kind of stuff? You understand? Like, those are the kind of things that I write about, how to let go of things, and then the situations that I see in the world that bother me. Also, I write about them.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's just a beautiful thing that, that's also, it's therapeutic for you. It's an outlet for you, but also you're able to share it because essentially you sharing these words with the world, you're opening up yourself and you're allowing yourself to be criticized on so many different scales, but you're saying, you know what, world, I don't care. This is what my truth is. This is what my reality is. And I don't care what you have to say about it. That's what I said, and that's it. I'm putting it out there.
Exactly. But you know what's so funny about that is that some things that we go through that we think that the world should not hear about it, we try to keep them secret because I don't know if maybe it's too dark or it's just too challenging. The world can actually learn from it.
Yeah.
You understand? There are people who are actually going through some stuff and they want to know how to get, how to crawl out of this darkness, how to, crawl out of this, whatever challenges they're going through. And it could just be somebody's words or somebody's song that can set them free. So I'm not afraid.
I know that's something. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, let it out already.
Yeah.
My goodness, So, it's my therapy. And it could be somebody else's therapy also.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk some about I'm a Survivor. Where did the inspiration for this song come from?
It's a long story.
No, we got time. We got time.
We got time. All right. Well, the original version is the same message as this new version, only this new version is a different style. It's Afro pop, and the original one is more R&B. And when I explain it, I always talk about the different cultures that I have found myself in and how those cultures actually make up the style of music that I write. Because I was born in Nigeria, and then I moved to Italy, and then I moved to Switzerland, and then I moved to America, and then I moved to Belgium, which I am right now, and then I'm still traveling around. And every time I find myself in these different places, I learn new things. I learn new cultures, new styles, new fashion, new food, and you understand. So my music is actually influenced by where I find myself. But the original version of I'm a Survivor came about because of what I had to go through. I mean, I keep talking about how I've been through some stuff in life, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure people are wondering, what did you go through, girl? Okay, spill it, It might not be as dark as the next person would think it is, but for me, it was dark. I was abused when I was 16 because when I left Switzerland, because when I moved about from Nigeria to Italy to Switzerland, it was with my family. We're all together. But going to America, I went by myself because I thought I could take on that challenge. I was 15 and a half when I left. And my parents, God bless them, they were like, oh, this girl is ready for this adventure. They gave me an option. They were like, do you want to go to Nigeria with us? Or do you want to go to America? And I was like, what now? Did you just put that in a sentence and you don't know what I'm going to pick? So I went for America because it was a new challenge for me, and they let me go. But unfortunately, when I after my first semester in the school I went to, I was I was sexually abused. I was actually raped. I was drugged and raped. And you can just imagine, by then I was 16. I never had a boyfriend. I mean, I had boys always trying to talk. You know how boys talk, trying to think they're fresh, trying to think that, the next cutest thing around the corner. I don't know. Trying to holler at a sister. And I'm always like, my parents sent me to America to go and study. I don't got time for this.
Exactly.
So I never made time for boys. I just, whoever want to call themselves my boyfriend, okay, whatever. You can be my boyfriend on paper, but you ain't touching me.
Exactly.
So when these events happened, I was very ashamed, and I was lost. I needed my mom so badly, and she wasn't there. I needed my sisters to talk about it. Nobody was there for me, and I just felt very alone. It was like I was put into a box of darkness, and I did not know how to open the box and see the light. So I think that's when I became this person that keeps secrets. Like, you can tell me anything. If you say it's a secret, girl, I will guard that secret to my grave, because I knew how to do that for myself.
Right.
And I had to climb out of that somehow. And it took me about 7 years to climb out of it, to climb out of that dark box. And, when you are sexually abused, it's not like you had a consensual, agreement with someone that says, let's go have sex. You're like, oh, okay. No, I did not prepare my mind for it. I did not even think such a thing could happen to me. I just thought boys were friends. Right. And then at that time I was like, no, they're not. They're after me for something else.
Oh, yeah.
And it took about 7 years to come out of that. And that was the birth of I'm a Survivor, because I knew that there are a lot of people that definitely had gone through it. And then when I was able to talk about it was when I started hearing stories upon stories, disgusting stories, an 18-year-old raping a 6-year-old, a grandfather raping his grandkid at 8 years old. I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't understand it, because I was ashamed of what happened to me. That's why I couldn't talk about it, because in the event itself, I took some steps that when I think about it now, it's like, stupid girl, why did you do that? I can't even tell you what it is because it's so stupid.
Yeah. But that's okay.
You understand?
Yes.
And I'm probably going to write a book about that one. I think that's how that would come out. But I was ashamed, and then I didn't understand how those people who were sexually abused at a younger age, how they did it, how they carried on, But one thing I knew was I gained some strength from it.
Right.
I knew how to say no and mean no. I mean, I was ready to kung fu on people. I was ready to karate people.
Absolutely.
Girl, I was like, you touch me, brother, you were going down. But this stuff happened to me already, and you were not even going to touch me. Yeah. You understand? Because it was an abuse. I didn't agree on it.
Yeah.
And then being drugged on top of that, too. Seriously, bro. I mean, you could have just upped your game a little. Maybe I would have even, said yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
But I felt like I was ripped out of my rights.
Yeah.
And it was. It was. And so I'm a Survivor is that motivational song to help other people no matter what they're going through. It might actually be that you're trying to get a job contract, and you try so hard and you keep going at it. You keep going back to school to get a better degree, and then you give it a shot again in the industry and stuff like that, and you keep getting at it. But you need to understand that to be able to get that thing, you need to believe that you are a survivor, because you need to survive in order to conquer. You understand? in the song, my chorus kept saying, I come, I conquer. I come, I conquer. I come, I conquer all. I'm a survivor. Because when you see what your end goal is, your end goal is you conquering a situation. But how you get there, it's a survivor game. It's a total game of survivor in life because other people are also trying to get at that thing also. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think mine was freedom. Mine was embracing myself as a girl, as, myself. I wanted to know who I was and who I am meant to be in this world and how I count in this world. And so, that's that little story about I'm a survivor.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I thank you all for tuning in to the Ash Said It Daily podcast. Right now we have an exclusive because we have that remix to I'm a Survivor by UniekeGrace. And we're going to play that. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more with this young lady about all what she's got going on. Because I'm telling y'all, she's got a full schedule full of stuff. And you are going to see her name out and about more and more. So stay tuned right here live with Ash Said It podcast.
Right.
UniekeGrace. Forget how I know. I come and conquer all. 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 I come and conquer. I come and conquer. I believe in life. In me, you feel wahala. This world they try to put sense for my attack. Super, I know they move without my soul and shield. Cause I know my foes, they look, they go, they lurking. They came too many times, told me I'm nobody. I say, hey, hey, hey. Told me I no go reach where I set my eyes on. But I say, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I come, yes, I conquer all. I come, 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 I conquer. I come, I conquer. Don't you get me wrong, I got my days of storms. When I thought we'd bet, I no go breathe again. I had no money, or too late like to jail. I called on Baba God so that I rest on him. Or tattoo Hale, told me I will rot a shame. I say, hey, hey, hey. Told me I no go breathe, I no go make younger. But I say, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I come, yes, I conquer all. I come, 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 I conquer. I come, I conquer. Hello. Once upon a time, let's see we don't fight no common battle, but against the powers and the darkness of the world. Let's see we gotta put on our armor. Hallelujah. Raise your head. I come and conquer all. 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 I come and conquer. I come and conquer. I come and conquer all. I come and conquer all. I come and conquer. I come and conquer.
Beautiful. Welcome back, you guys. You are all right. We got a whole mix going on apparently.
Loving it.
Oh, we got a whole mix going on. I apologize. This is a new soundboard, you guys. I apologize, but we're gonna get everything set up. We good to go. All right. I'm a survivor. Power, embracing, and loving oneself. I'm loving it. Loving it. That track right there has so much energy and just such a powerful message that I know that people across the world can connect to it. So I applaud you on that. I tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
You guys, we're live with UniekeGrace, all right? And we are talking music. We're talking entertainment world. So, Unique, in addition to music and things of that nature, what else do you have going on?
With music, with with writing. I'm a family girl, actually. I'm married and I got 4 children, and it's a full-time job on its own. And I'm also a nurse, and I'm also working full-time as a nurse.
Oh wow!
And keeping a home and doing what I love. You understand? Because I think a lot of people, especially ladies, there's so much that we have. We are such powerful people. I'm telling you.
Yes.
And we need to embrace it and not let the society put us down. And, don't let the society say, you need to stay in the kitchen. Or instead of being a doctor, why don't you think about being a caterer? No. Because you're supposed to, be someone who, I don't know, you're supposed to be a provider, a caregiver, or something like that. I mean, I've heard so many, and I'm just like, what? Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
Women are so strong. We're stronger than that. You understand?
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. We just need to go for what we believe in and talk. Because what I have understood with men is they just need to understand where you're at. The tempo that you're at in life and how they could help out. We always hear in a relationship, communication is key.
Yes.
It's true. I mean, there's nothing more true than that. That's like the 100% truth, because when you communicate, you understand where you both are and see how you can complement each other. Right. Because my husband also, he's not like a stay-home dad or nothing like that. He's a computer programmer into computer networking and stuff, and he works full-time also. He's a full-time papa. He's a full-time worker. He is a full-time husband. I mean, we just sat down and talked and said, this is where we would like to be in life. Okay, partner, high five, let's go for it. And that is it, It's possible. It's doable.
Absolutely. But like you said, it comes from a place of communication, where are you guys at? Because a lot of times people will say, oh, I want to jump into a relationship. I like this person. They're cool. They jump into a relationship and then things don't work. Well, you may have jumped into it for the wrong reasons,
Exactly.
and that's really where it comes down to is, because I see a lot of females like me. I've been single for a while now, and I know that God has something lined up for me, good, something just tall, dark, he got me set up right.
Looking good in his
Yes, can dress, can dance, can soak, but that's another story. But no, God has something set up for me, but... But I think that a lot of women, especially my age range, they feel this pressure from the world or society that, oh, you have to be married by a certain age. Oh, you got to have your first kid by this age. Oh, why don't you have another career? Why isn't something else going on? Like, it's always something. It's like they're never satisfied. So some of us fall into the trap of, oh, well, society said I'm supposed to be doing this by this time. I better just make something work. No, that's not what is for your life. You need to be happy in all the choices and decisions that you make. That should be the underlining between anything that you want to do in this life is that you're happy. You can sleep at night with your decision, and you have no regrets. No regrets.
Exactly. I always say also that life is a long distance race. It's not a short distance. Whatever you find yourself doing, it's a process. Everything is a process. It's not just A to Z. Between A and Z, we got B, C, D, and all of that before we get to Z. So in life, it's a long distance stuff. You understand? So even relationship is a long distance race. You don't jump in it just because you want to jump in it. Because if you jump in it, it's coming very quickly to jump out. So it's something you take your time in. Even if in my life also, some people told me I'm doing things backwards. Like, you're supposed to be doing music when you're single, so you can have time to, focus on your art, focus on your fan. So why you have all these kids and now you're doing music? And I'm like, you know what? That's the way that it's been written for me. This is my life story. You understand? Like, maybe, yeah. And I'm so happy that it happened this way also, because I've got my degree, I got my kids, I have my wonderful husband. So now I can focus on that talent and do it that I would like to, instead of rushing. You understand? So like, people, even single ladies also, you're single, you are doing what makes you proud, what makes you feel like, you count, definitely. And while you're doing what you were doing, there's no way that you can tell me that all of the men that are like hanging around are not seeing what you're doing. They're seeing you as a productive person. And no man wants one lazy layabout, in their home. They do want a girl who can handle it, who can hold it down. They might not tell you that because they want to feel like a man, but inside them, they need a girl who get the back when it's needed. And that's where a strong woman comes from. You understand? So like, wherever you find yourself doing, you do it right. You do it excellently. No regrets, no looking back. Just do it.
Absolutely. And Michelle Obama had a quote a few weeks ago at I don't even know what conference she was at or whatever the case is, but I saw the clip on Facebook and it struck me just so vividly that I had to write it down and I had to make a meme out of it. But she said, people will step on your confidence based on their assumption of who they think you are and what they feel that you deserve, or where you feel that, or where they feel that you should be in your life. And that's been something that, it's crazy because when she said it, it just clicked with me, because that's been my whole life. My whole life, people have always said oh, well, Ash, well, you're so talented with this. Why are you not doing that? Why are you not doing this? Because it's not where I'm supposed to be. Exactly. I know myself best. Exactly. And and a lot of times it'll come very unsolicited. Well, people will come to you and people will come to you and tell you, oh, well, girl, well, let me tell you, true story. I had a relative before I went off to, because my story is pretty extensive to UniekeGrace. Okay.
Tell me about it, girl.
But I went off to join the army. Oh, wow. And before I went to join the army, a relative of mine called me up, and I hadn't talked to this person in years. It probably had been maybe a decade since the last time I talked to this person. But because, they're an elder, you entertain it. You have respect for your elders.
Yeah.
But this person had the nerve, the sheer gall to tell me that, oh, well, Ash, why did you join the army? They're just going to send you overseas to get killed, right? And that's not something that I needed to hear at all. For one reason, number one, it was my life, my decision to make. Two, my mother was on life support and had a whole bunch of complications and things going on. And I didn't need that extra bit of negativity on my back.
At all. So
when someone exerts that unsolicited, I'm at a place now where I just let go of people. I can't have people in my circle that don't have a good positive outlook on life, because eventually that's going to rub off on you.
Exactly.
So I had to
waste you down.
Yes. I mean, just had the sheer nerve for her to say that to me. Just let me know, okay, you're in a negative mindset. And given that a lot of those generation, because, a lot of island people, let's keep it real. There was not a lot of opportunity for Black women.
Exactly.
back in the day. I'm
True.
talking about
Very
50,
true.
60 years ago. It was either
Yeah.
you were a nurse or you were a teacher. That was pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we're sitting in 2016 and we have so much, the whole world is open to it. The world is our oyster. It's just putting in that work is a beautiful thing. And I'm not going to regret my decision just because maybe someone of their, of their generation didn't have this opportunity. And
Yeah.
so I just kind of, I'm quick to just cutting my losses and doing
Yeah.
what I feel like I'm supposed to do, what I need to do in my life and what's going to help me make my future better
Exactly.
and just do that.
Exactly. You are the one behind your own ship. You're
Exactly.
the one, behind the steering wheel. You know where you were trying to get to. And
Exactly.
it's good to learn from other people's experience. It's
Yeah.
good to listen to those who have been through some things. You
Yeah.
understand? But you just have to be open also and be like, okay, I'm going to take this advice, but that other advice, I'm sorry, it's going in the trash can.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that will help you to pave the way to where you're trying to get to. Because when you get there, by the way, finally, and you're like almighty and, everybody is seeing you, they'll be like, oh, dang. So this girl had it in her. Well, yeah, Sherlock, but you were trying to, discourage her back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for nothing. But when you stand your ground, because you know where you're trying to get to, and you stand your ground and you focus, then the respect comes. And then it's like, oh, wow, she knows what she's doing. And it's all, it's all by wisdom. There's no day in my life that I don't thank God that I can tap into the wisdom of older people. And I always ask God, please give more wisdom. Give me more grace and more patience, because that's how I can, learn more. I'm always trying to learn more.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that you also, in your own daily walks in life, you're constantly looking for information.
Absolutely.
Trying to gain some knowledge, gain some wisdom, because that's where you can get a breakthrough. That's where your eyes will be open to things that other people's eyes are shut to.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
just life, man. We just have to make the best out of it. We only live once.
That's right. You only live once, and you know what? It needs to be your decision, your way. People are always going to have an opinion. Always. They're never not going to have an opinion. They always have an opinion. But you know what? Let them have their opinion. Let them have it. And you do what you're supposed to do.
And do your thing.
That's
yes,
it.
Girl. Mm-hmm.
That is it. So
sorry,
definitely.
that was
No.
I just looked up.
No, you're good. Like I said, I run this show, so whatever I say, go. And we say, hey, we letting loose. We chilling out today. I've got UniekeGrace. Unique. Let everybody know your social media stuff and your website stuff.
Yeah, everywhere is UniekeGrace. UniekeGrace. Because UniekeGrace is, as you can imagine, unique is English is UNIQUE, but I decided to write a UNIEK because I am on the Dutch side of Belgium, and I'm a Dutch speaker, so I speak, naturally think Dutch also sometimes. So the first time I wrote it, and I was like, oh snap, this is what it is. So yeah, and then the grace. I live by the grace of God. I can't look around me and see that so many things that I'm doing and think I'm doing it by myself.
Yeah, it's not you.
It's all the grace of God. It's that plan that God has that He's making happen through me. So, UniekeGrace, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube is UniekeGrace Official.
Gotcha. All right, so we got a little derailed a little bit. We kind of went off, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? We're going to jump back on the topic. But to kind of clear the path a little bit, I have a track here by a local artist. Her name is the beautiful Kalita Simone. She's a neo-soul artist and a dear friend of mine. This track here is Worshipper. So we're going to talk about Worshipper.
What do you do if a guy who doesn't...
Or not. Okay, so let's see. Worshipper is acting up. So... All right. So let's jump into TV. We're talking TV. We're talking BET. UniekeGrace. What can we talk about?
Well, that is new grounds right now.
Okay.
I have a someone I'm looking into collaborating with, and that is Melinda Watts, who has been around.
Okay.
She's a pretty big name on the beauty scene out there in the gospel scene, and I believe there was a song that she did. I can't. Oh man, that name, the name of the artist is, I think it's J Moss. Yes, there was a J Moss song that she did called "I'm Available." She's just a very wonderful person, and yeah, we're talking collaboration,
Okay.
and based on TV, that's also new grounds that I'm not, yeah, I can't,
You
I
can't
don't want
talk
to
too
jinx
much
it,
about it.
yeah, I
Gotcha.
can't
Okay.
jinx it,
I
but
gotcha.
we're thinking big. I'm all about thinking
Yeah,
big, reaching out for the stars and see where the effort gets you.
that's right.
Understand? And yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Any chance that we're gonna see a music video for the I Am Survivor remix?
Oh, show. Show. Because actually today I just met with the video crew, and the video director. He stops at nothing. Whenever people say it's impossible, that's what he goes for.
Mm.
Yeah, his name is Junior Onebamoy at Lazone Media, and he's awesome. So hopefully within 2 months from now, bear with me, maximum 2 months, the video is gonna be out, because you can imagine with a song that's got so much energy and with the
Mm-hmm.
message "I'm a survivor" kind
Yeah.
of images that you can get from a music video like that. So we're just praying that everything will work out perfectly, and the way that we've imagined it, and we can stir up some imagination in people's minds when they watch it also.
Absolutely. I see that it's gonna happen because with a song like that, I mean, the imagination is just endless. The possibilities, they just won't stop because there's just so many. I know that you guys are gonna come up with some hot fire.
Invented that. Invented that.
I know that's the truth.
When it comes out, I know I'm gonna be real pumped, because
Yeah.
when we're talking about the different scenarios and stuff, I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, this is pretty much the biggest project I've ever been involved in.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, we're talking like budgets that I've never even imagined myself like putting into a project. So I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be hot. Please God, just put your grace on it. Put your grace on it.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
excited.
Now, so working full time, married, 4 children, balancing a household, music career, and everything else under the sun that you can grab at. How
Yes,
does
girl.
Unique Grace find balance in the world?
Oh, that's the question of the day, every day of my life. To be honest with you, um, when I was I think 19 or 18, I started going to marriage seminars. And you might ask me why.
Yeah.
Because I believe that every single person out there should try to go to a marriage seminar or a single seminar. But I would even say I used to go to the marriage seminar because they used to throw out some real deep wisdom, things that can help you to figure out what you want. Especially in marriage. It was in one of the seminars of, I believe it was, what is his name? Is that preacher from the Bahamas? He passed away. Do you remember his name? I can't think of his name
I
right
can't
now.
think of it either.
But when the name comes to me, I'll say it. But he used to have marriage seminars and single seminars, and one of the things that I learned from it was he told us, bring out a sheet of paper and a pen and write 10 things that you like to see in your spouse. 10 characters or personalities or achievements that your spouse must have. And I wrote it down. I was like, number one, he gotta be godly. Number two, he got to be tall. He got to be light skinned. I know these are like dumb things.
But I mean, I mean, people laugh at it, but they say, you know what, you need to be specific when you ask these things of God. You got to be very specific.
Girl, that was my fantasy. I was like, this brother better have a really good smile. Because when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to turn around and be like, ooh, what is this? I want to turn around and be like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be like, ooh, babe, hello. I married you. You know what I'm saying? I had my checklist, and he better be ambitious. He needs to, be a good listener. He needs to be able to communicate. He needs to, be able to hold down a great job. You understand? I mean, this might sound superficial. They might sound too, but those are the things that I cared about.
Yeah.
And guess what? The man that I married, okay, he did not, not all the checklists. You know what I'm saying? But this man, he came in the form of an angel. I'm telling you, he is tall. He's not light skinned, but he is tall, and he is godly. He got ambition. He's a great listener. He's a great communicator. He is, he has a great job at the grace of God. He loves to help people. Those were the things in my heart. So when you ask me, how is it possible I'm able to do all these things? I'm like, I don't know. It's my husband. When I said, babe, I would love to do this. He goes, okay, how do we make it happen? He doesn't say, girl, here you go again. What you need to do is sit at home and make sure the house is clean. And do that. No. Oh, he's asking me, how can we make it happen? How can we work together? Okay, you got a show next weekend. All right, so maybe I'll stay home with the kids. We get a babysitter, or we do this, or we do that. We plan together. You understand? So me sometimes I have to go to work and take some night shifts as a nurse. He stays home, and when the kids are crying at night, he's the one that gets up. Things like that, sacrifices, things that I can't do this by myself.
No.
It is the angel that God gave to me that we can help each other out. I mean, he got his own thing going on too, and I'm like, babe, come on, what are you doing? Let's talk about it. How can we make this thing that you're doing better?
Right.
How can I make your life easier? What would you like to eat? Let me fix you with every meal. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're best friends, and I think that's really how this is easier for me. Yeah. And my kids also. I can tell you how also in this kind of seminars was where I learned this from also. That you need to ask because I'm crazy about learning stuff. And this preacher back then was like, you need to ask God the kind of kids that you want. Because if you don't, you're gonna get whatever. So I was like, oh, I need me some children who can listen. I need some beautiful kids with long afro hair. I'm telling you, the silliest thing. I need a child who listens to the parents, not a kid. You be like, sit down, but like, if I don't sit, what you gonna do? I'm gonna slap you. That's what I'm gonna do. But I don't want to get there, so you better be obedient. You understand? I wrote these things down, and my children, people ask me also, how can you tell them to sit down when they sit? I'm like, I don't know. I just tell them to sit down. Otherwise, you're going to hear from me at home.
Okay. Yeah.
And their obedience. And I thank God because if not, I'll probably pulling my hair out every day and, sitting at home and watching TV in my sweatpants or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's what it is. I thank God for that.
But UniekeGrace, I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful life, I'll say. And I'm sure that there's somebody out there that is listening that needed to hear those words from you that, it's not easy. Every day is not going to be a cakewalk, It's not going to be a cakewalk. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. But two people that are willing to not give up on each other I
That's
think
right.
that's a huge part of making such a partnership work.
Yes, you got it.
Big part of making that. And to transition us into our next piece, advice for upcoming singers. People hit me up all the time, UniekeGrace, and they say, "Hey, Ash, how can I do this, or how can I be like you, or whatever the case is." For
Yeah.
you as an artist, with the years that you have and the experience that you have now, what advice would you offer to any new up and coming artist?
Number one, you need to have the mind of a conqueror. You have a message that you want the world to hear. You are the owner of this vision. There's nobody else that can see it the way that you can. So you are, this is your baby. So whatever happens, you need to make sure that that vision keeps going by not giving up, because people are going to tell you all kinds of things. And especially when you're an independent artist, there is freedom in being an independent artist, but a lot of people were chasing after record labels first, which I don't believe in that. The record labels, funny enough, are looking for artists who are already doing good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking for artists who are trying to get picked up.
Nope.
No, they're trying to make some money.
Yep.
So those are the kind of things that I had to learn along the way, by the way. And I hope that if you're out there, you're an independent artist, or you're thinking about doing some stuff, don't go chasing after the record labels. Be you. Create your own brand. Create you first. Understand who you are before you start, even trying to look for anything like that. And then just stay with it. Stay with it. Don't give up. Keep writing. Keep learning about new things, different techniques, different styles of music, and above all, training. As a singer, you're like into a sport. If you're a runner and you don't go jogging and you don't exercise and stretch and stuff, along the way your muscles will get slack.
Mm-hmm.
As a singer, you need to be training your voice also, and doing voice training and stuff. Otherwise, there's some natural singers out there who wake up in the morning, they can sing all kinds of notes, and there are those like myself who are not natural singers. I had to get trained, and I love the fact that I got trained, because it became my work ethic.
Right.
So work hard, don't give up, believe in yourself, and I know that you can make it.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. UniekeGrace.
Ma'am.
You guys, let them know again how they can get in contact with you, if they want to check out your music, if they want to follow you. Where do they need to go?
Yeah, definitely. Do follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, UniekeGrace. And to get my songs out there, we're on iTunes, Amazon.com. You can get it from Hawkshare, Spotify, SoundCloud, and don't forget also to subscribe to my YouTube channel, UniekeGrace Official. So and I love meeting new people every day. I love making friends. I love connecting. I love talking about the silliest things in life. Just let's talk about it. I would love to hear from you guys.
Definitely. Hey, Unique, I just want to say I thank you so much for coming through to the show, because I know that you've got a full schedule. You got an army there yourself. You got a full house, full army. So I appreciate you so much for coming through and making time in your schedule as I'm trying this brand new platform, and we're gonna make some magic happen. We're definitely going to make some magic happen.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you gave me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I thank each and every one of you guys that have downloaded this show. And if you want to check out more about Ash Beasy, Ash Said It, because we've kind of retired the Ash Beasy brand. A lot of people know me, UniekeGrace, as the Live with Ash Beasy show. And I did that show for many, many years, where I would interview indie artists, authors, nonprofits, pretty much anybody that needed a platform, that needed someone to help boost them up. They usually came on my show. And so I haven't done that show for many, many years, but like I said, this is new for me. This is new territory that I'm treading on, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it, and that you continue to check out ashsaidit.com, because you'll get the most about me on that. and Team Natural. So Unique Grace is Team Natural too. So yes, you can't see me, but my fist is up in the air.
Yeah, mine too. You
Team
see it?
Team Natural. All right, so
Oh yeah.
so briefly, okay. So what was your natural journey like,
Oh,
or what are some
girl.
highlights?
You know what was so funny was I cut my hair. I cut the perms for the first time in 2005
Okay.
because that was when I met my husband, and
Oh.
he told me that he liked the look of Halle Berry back then,
Oh.
and I was like, Halle Berry's old for you, get over it. And then he goes, well, I like her look. I like her short hair. I'm like, I'm not gonna cut my hair, just long perm. Man, I was like, I am not doing this for nobody. But then in the end, I was like, I really liked him, you know. And so the next picture that I had sent him, because we actually met, I was in the States, he lived in Belgium. We actually met on High Five. That's another story. But and then the next picture I saw, my hair was chopped, like completely gone.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, how's your hair? Because he really liked the hair also because it was really long. He was like, how's your hair? I was like, well, so Halle Berry came knocking on your door and you don't even know her. What is wrong with you? It was like, you cut your hair? Oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, I get over it. But, but I still had some perms because the Halle Berry look was the flat, short hair thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really feeling it. It was just not my thing. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go natural. So I braided my hair and then it grew for like about 3 months or so and I chopped the whole thing up. And since then, I've loved it because it also like enhanced my face too. Like, having like this small head, so, like the afro just like made me like a bigger person.
Yes.
But it's been a struggle though. It's been a struggle because of, they're always coming out with like these new products,
Yeah.
And you just never know which one is like good for like the 4Cs or the 4Bs, the 4As, you gotta like work with it. Do you understand?
And the problem that I ran into, Unique Grace, was, okay, I beat you by 1 year. 2004 is when I did my big chop. And I did mine for probably more more monetary reasons. I was broke. And my parents was like, look, your hair is costing too much money. You need to figure something out on your own. You better figure it out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut my hair. I remember my mom, she said, you're not going to cut your hair. You ain't got you don't have it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. I said, no. One thing with me, when I have my mind set on something, I do it. I follow through.
That's what's up.
And I cut it off, and I remember it was just, you never know how light your head is without all that hair. You never realize it. I was like, oh, wow, this is, okay, I had a little fro, and I looked like I belonged, with the Jackson 5, but, I was rolling with it, and I enjoy. I remember at first, I was really like, wow, I really like this. Wash and go. You can shampoo it in the morning, head out to the car. By the time you get to work, your hair is dry. You're good.
Right?
My problem came into play as it grew. Because my hair is very coily, very kinky, and there's probably,
I'm a 4C. What is yours?
I think I'm probably 4C. Whatever the most difficult, crazy one is, that's me.
That's it. It's crazy. It's always like curling up and then it breaks because of the curls.
Yeah, and then certain parts will curl up more than others, and so I've done literally everything to this hair that you can possibly do. I went to the Dominicans. They blew it out a couple times. That was wickedness to my scalp. I can't believe I still did that. That was so horrible. Braids. I did braids for the longest, especially when I was in the Army. Yeah. And then I decided to lock. And I was like, okay, I really like locks. Okay, that works.
Did it work out though? You still got it? Because I don't know if I can do locks.
Well, the thing about it was this. Okay, I have 2 experiences with locks. Right now, I have sister locks, which I love. I absolutely love. But initially, I had got the traditional locks. And I did not love those at first. It took me a good 9 months, maybe even a year, till I really was embracing my locks. Now, when I got the traditional locks, I had found a lady off of Craigslist, which people don't do that, okay? Do not find somebody to do your hair off of Craigslist.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
And so she installed them or whatever and put in the traditional lock. She interlocked my hair. And at the end of it, I just didn't like it. The spaces were too big. And I tried my best to embrace it, and I was like, this is just ridiculous. I'm just going to wait for it to grow. So for probably like 9 or so months, I just would wrap my head because I just really hated looking at it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And eventually it grew in, and the locks themselves started to form, and they started to actually lock up. And I grew to really enjoy the hair. Now, with the traditional locks, because they weren't really uniform, some locks were bigger than others, and then, I thought I was a cosmetologist and was going to color it one day, so I decided to color.
Oh, no.
And I basically overprocessed my own hair. I overprocessed it, and I looked crazy. It was just, I was, because usually when I'd done color before, right? And every time I do color, it would always fade like within a month. So I was like, you know what? These colors ain't working. If I do something dramatic like honey blonde, then I'll get the effect that I want to get, right? That's the logic. So I did that honey blonde. Looked like my head was on fire.
Oh, no.
But I said, you know what? I'm going to still rock it out, though. I'm going to still rock this out. I dare somebody say something to me. I'm going to rock this out because I'm gangster with it. I can do that. So I rocked it out for the longest, and then I made the decision to join the Army, and I knew that was one of their stipulations. They were not going to allow me in with my locks. And rather than going to basic training and have someone to cut my hair, I wanted to be in control of it, so I decided to actually shave my head. So I shaved my head, and I let my hair grow out, and then I just started getting kinky twists and micro braids and everything else. I just went to the African shops. Yeah, and just let it, I just wrote it out. And when I got back and I decided that I wasn't going to, I didn't want to deal with the getting braids and stuff again, I said, you know what, let me do some research and find out about some other hairstyles, because I love the freedom of the locks, of letting the hair just naturally do what it wants to do. Exactly. So I looked up and I found out about sister locks. And I was like, sister locks? I've never heard of that. Let me look into this. Yeah, and I looked into it, and they're uniform locks, but they're small. Basically, think essentially micro locks because they're small locks. They're still locks, but they're just a lot smaller. And with that, you have a lot more versatility. And as it grows, you can do different things with it. With the traditional locks, I couldn't necessarily curl them too much because they were so big and bulky. But with the sister locks, I can put in a whole roller set. I can get spiral curls. I can do a lot more with the sister locks. So I love my sister locks since day one because it didn't make me look like a bald-headed baby. Right? So I absolutely love sister locks, and it's the best hair decision that I've ever made, and I would never look back.
I'm going to look it up.
Sister locks, yes, sisterlocks.com. I want to say sisterlocks.com. Yes, and if you decide to go with somebody, make sure that they're on the website, because there's a lot of posers, a lot of people that pretend to do sister locks, and they claim that if they're not on the website, they're not official.
Oh, jeez. Everybody trying to make $1.
Yeah, and they don't care to make $1 off of you. But UniekeGrace, thank you so much for coming through, Mama. I appreciate you. And everybody that's tuned into the show, thank you so much. AshSaidIt.com. You can follow me across social media at OneLoveAsh. That's the number 1 Love Ash. No matter what it is that's going on in your life, no matter what you're going through, you can do it. Make it happen, Captain. Anybody to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and say, don't believe me, just watch. Watch me make it happen. Watch me do what it do. Watch me make history. All right? Because Ash and UniekeGrace said so, all right?
UniekeGrace said so.
Said so. Love you.